California, a land of contrasts. From the sun-baked deserts of the south to the mist-shrouded forests of the north, this is a state where dreams are born and legends never die. It's a place where the impossible seems just a little more possible. Here, ancient mountains meet restless oceans, and modern cities press against the wild unknown. But beneath California's iconic beauty, its golden beaches, towering redwoods, and rolling vineyards, there's another side, a shadow side. For every Hollywood fairy tale, there's a whispered story passed between locals. For every postcard sunset, there's a place where the light never quite reaches. Tonight, we're leaving the familiar behind. Beyond the palm trees and city lights, we'll journey into the myths and mysteries that have haunted California for generations. These aren't just ghost stories. They're windows into the state's restless spirit. Are you ready to see what lurks behind the California dream? Let's step into the unknown and meet the legends that refuse to be forgotten. Urban legend number 1. The Curse of the Livermore Totem Pole. 400 Home Street, Centennial Park, Livermore, California. They thought it was just a statue. But that pole, that carved tower of wood and spirit, holds a grudge. Beneath the California sun, nestled in the quiet town of Livermore, there stands a totem pole. Weathered, silent, towering. Most people pass by without a second thought. But those who know the truth, they don't go near it, not anymore. Because that totem pole is cursed. It all began in 1969. Adam Fortunate Eagle Nordwall, a respected elder and activist of the Ojibwa Nation, hand-carved a towering totem pole. It was meant for a shopping center, but when the developers refused to pay him, he did something unexpected. He gifted the sacred piece to the city of Livermore for its 100-year anniversary. It was more than just art, it was spiritual. A living story carved into wood, each ring marking a decade of the city's existence. The founder of Livermore, the rise of atomic energy, the heartbeat of history. It was all there. But when city workers installed the totem pole in Centennial Park in 1974, they made a fatal mistake. They cut off the base of the totem, a few feet hacked away. Just like that. No ceremony, no permission, just sawdust and silence. To Nordwall, it was an act of desecration. A sacred object, mutilated by those who didn't understand its power. He stood before the city council and demanded they restore it. They laughed him off. So Nordwall did something far more permanent. He cursed the town's sewer system. And just 2 weeks later, it happened. The entire sewer system collapsed into chaos. Backups, floods, and unexplained failures plagued Livermore. Plumbers and engineers were baffled. Pipes that had worked fine for decades suddenly gave way to filth and rot. The city eventually restored the totem pole to its original height. But they never apologized. And Nordwall? He never lifted the curse. But the curse didn't stop underground. Buried beneath the park in 1969 was a centennial time capsule, sealed and hidden, meant to be unearthed in 1999. But when the day came, it was gone. Vanished. Like the earth itself had swallowed it whole. After a desperate search, it was finally found. Not missing, not stolen, buried directly beneath the cursed totem pole, almost like the pole had claimed it. But even stranger is what came next. A documentary was filmed about the strange history of Livermore. Of course, the cursed totem pole was featured. Adam Nordwall appeared in it himself, calm, powerful, repeating that the curse had never been lifted. The documentary was released, and in the weeks that followed, 2 of the people who appeared in it died. A former city manager, a well-known Livermore resident, gone. No foul play, no known connection, just gone. Coincidence or a final warning? You see, Adam Nordwall wasn't a man to be dismissed. He led protests, occupied Alcatraz, and in 1973 he even discovered Italy in full tribal regalia, declaring it native land by right of discovery, turning the tables on history itself. But here's where the story takes an even stranger turn. In July 2021, the totem pole was removed for a structural evaluation. Officials said it was unsafe, its wood compromised after decades in the elements. So they took it down, piece by piece. But locals whispered something else. That the curse had grown too strong. That the totem wasn't aging, it was rotting from within, as if something unnatural had taken hold of it. Something bitter, something angry. Since its removal, the park feels different, quieter, but not peaceful, hollow, like something is missing or waiting. No one knows where the pole is now. Stored away, destroyed, or maybe watching from the dark, biding its time. Whatever the truth is, one thing remains clear. The totem may be gone, but the curse? It never left. Was it just a local legend? Or was Livermore truly marked by something sacred and betrayed? Urban legend number 2, the Dark Watchers of Big Sur. Big Sur. Even the name feels heavy with mystery. Here, the mountains rise straight from the Pacific, their slopes shrouded in fog, their peaks often lost to the clouds. These are lands where the wild persists, untamed, unyielding, and some say, deeply haunted. For centuries, travelers along these ridges have reported something strange, something watching. The Chumash, the region's earliest known inhabitants, spoke of shadowy spirits living among the cliffs. When Spanish settlers arrived, they gave these figures a name: Los Vigilantes Oscuros, the Dark Watchers. But who or what are they? Eyewitnesses describe them as impossibly tall, human-like silhouettes, sometimes cloaked, sometimes crowned with wide-brimmed hats, standing motionless on the ridgelines at dusk or dawn. They never move, never speak, and always seem to be just out of reach, just beyond the next bend in the trail. Even famed author John Steinbeck and his son Thomas claim to have seen them. Steinbeck wrote about the Watchers in his correspondence, describing how his father would see them on solitary hikes, only for them to disappear the instant he tried to get closer. Some hikers report feeling a sudden, inexplicable sense of dread, or the uncanny certainty that they're being watched. Others describe the air growing colder, the forest going silent, and a primal urge to leave the area as quickly as possible. Yet despite countless sightings, no one has ever captured a clear photograph. No evidence, only stories, and the lingering feeling that something ancient is out there, observing from the shadows. Skeptics chalk it up to tricks of the light, exhaustion, or the mind's ability to conjure shapes from the fog. But those who've seen the Dark Watchers know better. They say the Watchers are real, and that if you ever find yourself alone on a Big Sur trail at twilight, you might just catch a glimpse of them, standing silent and still, watching you from afar. Urban legend number 3, the Charman of Ohigh. Just outside the peaceful town of Ohigh, where orange groves stretch to the mountains and the air is thick with the scent of wild sage, there's a road that locals warn you to avoid after dark. Creek Road, beautiful by day, but after sunset, it becomes the stage for one of California's most chilling legends, the Charman. The story goes back nearly a century, to a devastating wildfire that swept through the Ohigh Valley. Some versions say a father and son were trapped as flames closed in. The father perished, and the son, horribly burned and driven mad by grief, disappeared into the woods. Others whisper that the Charman was a firefighter who didn't make it out, his spirit left to wander, forever marked by fire. What makes the Charman legend so haunting isn't just the tragedy, it's the encounters. Drivers report seeing a figure lurking by the roadside, his skin blackened and blistered, eyes wild with pain and rage. Some say he rushes at passing cars, his movements frantic and desperate. Others claim he simply stands and watches, a silent warning that you're not welcome here. There are stories of campers waking to find their tents slashed, of hikers stumbling across burned footprints in the dirt, and of motorists whose vehicles stall for no reason, only to glimpse a shadow moving just beyond the reach of their headlights. Police have fielded calls about a disfigured man chasing people or peering into car windows, but when they arrive, there's never any trace. The legend persists, growing with each retelling. Is the Charman a restless ghost, a vengeful spirit, or something far stranger? An echo of Ohigh's fiery past, doomed to haunt Creek Road forever? Urban legend number 4, the Fresno Nightcrawlers. Fresno, a city best known for its farmland, hot summers, and quiet neighborhoods. But when the sun goes down and the streets empty out, something strange is said to walk here. Something that defies explanation and chills even the most skeptical hearts, the Fresno Nightcrawlers. It all began with a grainy piece of security camera footage in the late 2000s. A homeowner, hoping to catch vandals or stray animals, instead captured something no one could have anticipated. 2 pale, impossibly thin figures gliding across the front lawn. They were unlike anything ever seen, tall, with long, stilt-like legs, tiny heads. Their movement was slow, almost serene, as if they were floating just above the grass. The video quickly went viral. Paranormal investigators flocked to Fresno, and the story was picked up by TV shows and internet sleuths around the world. Some called it a hoax, but no one could replicate the footage convincingly. The original clip remains a staple of unexplained phenomena compilations to this day. But the mystery didn't end there. A few years later, a similar creature was captured on another security camera, this time in Yosemite National Park, more than 60 miles away. The figures matched the original sighting: spindly, pale, and eerily graceful. Locals began whispering about the Nightcrawlers, and theories multiplied. Were they spirits? Extraterrestrial visitors? Creatures from a parallel world? Or something even older? Beings that have always been here, just out of sight? Some Native American legends from the region speak of tall, thin beings who walk the earth at night, guardians of the land who avoid human contact. Others believe the Nightcrawlers are a warning, a sign that we're trespassing on ground we don't fully understand. Despite the theories, no one has ever encountered a Nightcrawler face to face. There are no reports of aggression or malice, just fleeting glimpses caught on camera, leaving behind more questions than answers and a lingering sense of unease. What makes the Fresno Nightcrawlers so unforgettable isn't just their otherworldly appearance, it's the way they move, slow, deliberate, unafraid, as if they belong here and we are the ones out of place. California, land of endless horizons and restless spirits. These legends remind us that even in a state known for its sunshine and dreams, the shadows run deep and the unknown is never far away. But maybe that's the real magic of California. It's not just the beauty you see in the daylight, but the mysteries that come alive when the sun goes down, the stories that refuse to fade, and the questions that keep us searching the dark for answers. So, what do you believe? Are these legends echoes of forgotten truths, warnings from the past, or something stranger? Something waiting for us just beyond the edge of the known? This has been Tyler with Twisted Faith, Urban Legends. I want to hear your stories. Have you ever felt watched on a lonely trail or seen something out of place in the night? Drop your experiences and theories in the comments below. If you thought this was unsettling, you'll want to stay close, because the next location will drag us even deeper. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, leave a comment, and don't forget to turn on your notifications. Until next time, stay curious and stay creepy. Bye for now.